Good evening, parents and students of pre-calculus. My name is Ted Strub. I am a teacher at Tartan High School, and I have your son or daughter in my pre-calculus class. If you would like to get a hold of me, I can be reached through my email at tstrub@isd622.org. I'd like to take a moment here just to give you some idea of what's going on in pre-calculus this trimester, some important dates, and what does our gradebook look like? Because there's some questions about Schoology versus campus and how do we tell the difference. So let's take a look here at some important dates that we have going on for first trimester. Our last day for the Unit 1 remediation is October 27th, and I'll talk about the policy or the procedure for doing that. So that's if you didn't do well on your first Chapter 1 test. The Chapter 2 test is coming up on October 29th and 30th, depending on which class your student is taking or what hour your student is taking pre-calculus. And then we're going to actually jump around. We're going to start Chapter 7 and do something with matrices, and that will be on November 19th and 20th. So those are the important pieces for first trimester. We have 2 more tests remaining, and the students can still do a correction on the first test. So a lot could change in their grade. So what happens if a student doesn't do well on a test? Well, if a student scores below 70%, the student may do a test remediation, in this case for Chapter 1, and they would have to complete an optional review study guide from the Chapter 1 test that we had took. So the students were given an optional study guide before the Chapter 1 test to actually help them out. To earn the points back for that test, they would have to actually do that study guide and then email Mr. Strub, email me, once the remediation is complete. If they do it successfully, then I will go back and change their original score to a 70%. This is usually due a week after the scores are released, but this was released a while back, so we are actually going to open that up for any students who did not complete that, and it's going to be due October 27th. That gives you another whole week here in case your chat with your son or daughter is motivating them to increase their grade. But they've had that option for a couple of weeks already. So, all right, what about the grade book? The official grade is going to always be viewed through Campus, sometimes known as Parent Portal or Student Portal. Schoology is regarded as a site that distributes and collects homework, quizzes, and tests. Grades are updated at least once a week, if not twice a week. I usually try to do them on Wednesdays and Fridays. So what does a grade look like in Campus versus one in Schoology? So here's what I have just quick. What does your grade look like? What does the student's grade look like in Schoology? So this was just a sample. Please note right away, there is no actual current or in-progress grade posted in Schoology. We turn that feature off in case there was a discrepancy in the Campus gradebook and the Schoology gradebook. Sometimes we put things in Campus that weren't in Schoology. So always refer to Campus as the official gradebook. But what do you see when you look at Schoology? Well, Schoology can tell you if something is missing, turned in, or no longer able to turn in, and then it has direct links to the assignment. So this is from my calculus class, but the same thing holds true for pre-calculus. If a student has a dash next to one of the assignments, that means that is missing, and the student may still turn that in and has up until the current unit assessment to turn that in. So we want all missing homework to be turned in before the student takes that assessment for that unit. If there's a grade next to it, like this was an A, a 5 out of 5, then that means this student has turned the assignment in and it has been graded. Right? Notice these 2 are missing, so same thing. But what happens if there's no score, but there's a blue little submission box? Well, what that means is that means the student has turned the assignment in, but it's waiting to be graded by the teacher. So, like I said, I usually grade them once or twice a week and get those up to date. So what else could you see? Well, in this one, notice it's from Friday, September 11th. And this was due, it says no credit, 0 out of 5. This means that the student may no longer turn this in. It is past due, and because we're well past that assignment. Quizzes. If a student takes a quiz, they can redo quizzes up to 20 times and earn as much as full credit back. So this student got it's really a 7 out of 11. And they could have kept redoing and redoing the quiz until they got 100%. So they did not take advantage of that opportunity for a quiz. And then notice all of these are turned in. We've got some missing assignments. All of those slashes in Schoology means the students may still turn it in. And then the summative piece. Notice the summative is 50% of their overall grade. And in this case, we've got a 86% for the first test, which is pretty decent. The second test was like a 40, almost close to a 45 to 55% here. So what do we got? The student here is eligible for a test remediation to raise their grade up to 70%. So the student may still do this. This was our Unit 2. Again, this is my calculus class, but they did not take advantage of this yet. So the thing that I like about this policy is students have complete control over the type of grade they want to get. So what would this grade look like in campus versus Schoology? Well, here's the same student's grade through Parent Portal or Campus. Notice this one does have a current/in-progress grade. So the current grade, because of that one test, dropped it down to a 63%. The green score was their week 4 grade, so like the midterm week 4 grade. And then here we have the summative categories come first. So notice the 55%, and the student is eligible for a test remediation to raise their grade to a max of 70. So they could have taken advantage of that, and they would definitely be out of this P zone for passing. All right, so what about missing assignments versus no longer turn in? Well, in this case, if it's a 0 out of 5, it's past due and the student may no longer turn it in. Here's the option where the student may still do or could have done the quiz corrections up to 100%. If it's missing, it will actually have a red missing item. Anything that says missing may still be turned in up until the day of the assessment. And then if there's a 0, that means that it's past due. All right, and notice the breakdown. This is the formative total, but overall, formative is 50%. That's your homework, tests, and quizzes. I take it back. Sorry, homework, quizzes, and any activities. Tests are the other 50% of your grade. So I hope that your students are going to take advantage of any opportunity to improve their grade. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. My email is tstrub@isd622.org. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you.